Michigan tape.
So I go turn on the kid's tape. It took me literally like, well, how long did I call you back from? I was still watching film. I
It
was
was
like
it
maybe
was about it was no, it was a good about 15, 20 minutes because I know you were diving into it, and you call me while you're still watching. And he goes, "You're like, okay, all right, I can dig this kid." And I'm like, "I told you." Once I
I
saw
could
triple
more
blocks
than
getting
I could more than dig him. I thought, what the hell is wrong with people? He shouldn't have been there at 12.
because people want the flash plays. That's the thing. He ate up triple blocks in college on the defensive line and literally let everyone else do the work. And now people don't realize also he's learning a whole new position. I feel like people that don't watch Rashawn Gary, they don't know where he came from because that's the thing. He played three technique defensive line. I mean,
Well,
right
he
there on the
played the
defensive tack.
3, he played the 5, he played
Well, that's my
nose.
point.
I mean,
That's
come
my point.
on.
Now he takes all that, scraps it, and he go put him on the edge specifically. Because where else do you see him on that defense anytime he comes in? It's always on the edge. It's always pass rush and standing up. He has to learn a whole
Because
new
Patton
style.
is not trying to confuse him.
Exactly. No, I love that. I'm not
Right.
yelling
Oh,
at him
no, and
for it. I
no,
love that.
I know you are, and I guess I'm trying to explain to people like, well, you're no, you're trying to take a kid that you believe. This is what they believe. If they believe that he was just going to be a really solid guy, they could move around. Like, honestly, I see Rashawn Gary as Zadarius Smith in 4 years,
Yes.
where he can line up and play the zero technique and the nose and the 5. Did you
Darius
see
had 4
Rashawn?
sacks in his first year ever in the
No,
NFL.
no, no, but I'm saying Zadarius Smith today lined up at every position from one
Oh
side
God, yeah,
at the edge
defensive
to the
lineman, inside
he
linebacker,
lined up at the
everything.
nose, outside right, left outside light. He was standing up over the center on the defensive
Yeah.
line. He was okay. That's Rashawn Gary, but for right now, these first 2 years, they're going to make sure that he develops into a premier outside linebacker. That's their first job. Once they feel like he's gotten that, which I think he'll handle very well, quite honestly, when you look at his advanced metrics in like per pressures and all that per snap, they're through the roof. Like I don't like, and then turn on the tape and just watch what he does. The only reason he doesn't get there is because he's usually on the field with the other two Smiths. So it's a three-way there, and he's
And
he's
you
like.
even see Fackrell in there too.
But my point
They're all
is
on there.
like, yeah, it just the negativity has gotten beyond ridiculous with him. I know we got down the rabbit hole, but we talk
No,
about this
you're
guy
good.
a
I want
lot.
to point
But
this out. So he had this still okay. So in limited time, he was not on the field a lot. Today you saw Zadarius and Preston and Smith a ton, and Rashawn Gary was still able to get 3 tackles. Still had a tackle for loss and almost had a sack if Preston Smith had not gotten there. I I really think
how many
this
snaps
kid.
did he have?
I'd have to go look it up.
Well,
I
we
don't
got
think they
some.
put up the
I mean,
snap count.
as we're BSing, or maybe when we take a break, maybe we can look that up and get back to it. Because I want people to realize there's not a lot of snaps there, and so for that stat line with the amount of snaps, I know is probably going to be under 20.
Well, you know what though? I mean, my thing is I feel like this kid is gonna go ahead and burst out on one of the bigger stages. Like I really think Pettin is gonna give him a bunch more playing time, and I think it's gonna come in the playoffs. I really think so. I don't think he like or even during the last game of the season. Say we have a
There is
bye.
nothing. There is nothing, Dave. From what I've watched this entire season, there is nothing that I have seen when I watch film, when I watch the games live, and I take notes that would give me any sort of negative vibe about this kid's development and where he is and how I feel about the pick going forward.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know that.
To be negative about what his stat line is or what he's doing is telling me you're not paying attention to what he's doing, and you're definitely not watching any film to try to watch him when he is on the field. Yes, it's limited, but it's impressive what he does. He's damn near unstoppable when he gets on the field.
Yeah. I mean, he really is. And I mean, honestly, when he comes in, it's either running plays he's in on or he's almost there. Just Preston Smith, it has a freak of
A
nature speed
longer
off the edge.
arm.
Well, also too, he's Preston Smith is. I watched him today against Donald Penn. The speed he has for 6'4", 270, along with Rashawn Gary, but Preston to me is just he has that vet experience. He's able to know those little cut the corner moves and go. So if Rashawn Gary wasn't paired up with another guy who's been in for what? It's his fifth year now? Yeah.
Yeah.
His fifth year vet coming in off of his best career year, now gotten another sack, so he's up to 11. Yeah. I feel like Rashawn would have got a sack today, but nope. Doesn't make anyone happy.
I'm going to laugh though when he finally like busts out, and then all these people.
That's
are
it.
like,
That's
yeah.
what I was just saying.
Oh yeah. Look at Rashawn Gary, and I'm gonna laugh emoji the crap.
That's
out of
all we're
Twitter.
gonna say.
No, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just gonna put the laugh emoji on all their damn tweets. And from this point on, this episode, we'll all know it's like an inside joke. That's Jay's way of telling you you're a jackass because you were not with him when he was when you couldn't tell just with your naked eye. When you had to do some homework to figure out that he's been really good this whole time, I don't want to hear it. I don't want these people all of a sudden deciding that they love Rashawn Gary because he's all of a sudden, getting 30 snaps and getting 2 sacks and 5 pressures and 3 hurries a game and getting 2 tackles for losses and forcing I don't want to hear it. You already said he's a wasted pick. He wasn't worth waiting on, none of that. So don't like him ever. God forbid. Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to feel like a complete jackass when it happens. Because it's not if, it's when. Like, and I don't feel that about
Seattle just had a touchdown pass taken away by holding. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
that's fine.
now they're back to 1st and 20.
Seattle has not looked good either. Let's be real.
I'll start. Good God. Where was the team that we watched beat San Fran?
Hey, any given Sunday, man. I told you, San Fran and Seattle have a thing with each other, dude. They like to whoop up on each other at home. The away team seems to whoop up on the home team every time. That's
anyways,
becoming a pretty damn good
enough
rivalry.
rabbit holing about Rashawn Gary. You know what though? I know people are upset with some of the performances today, and one of my biggies was obviously, along with you, was Rodgers. Just rather than hitting the open man, he's addicted to big play. He's got to take a step aside and look himself in the mirror, Jay, and realize just hit the down man in front of you to get you 5 or 6 yards, and you're good. Like he so many play fakes today, and he just stood back there, and he got sacked, 3-4 times? Well, 2 of them were on him. He clearly stood back there having a picnic, looking for the big plays, and the Redskins were ready for it.
Yeah, his that's kind of why I wrote the article about why I did. I think it's time for the coaching staff to do something that doesn't give him a choice. Like you have to stop calling plays that have deep routes built in them, so he doesn't have a choice. Everything
the Dallas game.
Yep. Like you can't give him Alan Lazard and have 2 hitches and Alan Lazard on a freaking hitch and go route because if he's going to wait on the hitch and go to see if it's open, even if the 2 curl routes are wide open and the flat's open, he's going to wait. And then all of a sudden if the hitch ain't open, well, guess by that time the 2 corner, the curls are covered, the flat's covered. So it's just like I love Rodgers. But he's his own worst enemy. Swear to God. And I'm not saying this to disparage him or that I'm buying into what the pundits say. Like, they're going to say this shit anyway. But honest to God, it's because he has so much confidence. He's hit a few of them doing that. But the problem is you
were through 3 of them today that would have been touchdowns.
Yes, but you have to limit them because when you limit
I
them,
agree.
He's more efficient with them. I think what happens right now is every play has a big route developed into it, and so then he's like one of those guys that instead of taking and aiming the dart at the balloon, he'll burn up $100 just taking the darts in a chunk and throwing them at the wall at one of those damn games, and he can't never hit a damn balloon. It's like, take your time and aim a little bit. Quit being in such a hurry just to chuck everything down the field and hope something sticks. Like, if you're hitting the underneath routes on it, then you can dial up those plays and give Rodgers the big play. This is the one thing, the only issue I see that really is holding them back and why I think their offense seems stagnant and hitchy-gitchy. It's because the coach, there becomes a point in every relationship, and you need to do it early, that as much as I love the fact that they rubbed everybody's face in it, that they couldn't get along and weren't going to have a good relationship, it's too close right now. Now it's and it's not too late or it's not a big negative, but because we're splitting hairs here. Let's be honest. We're splitting hairs here. Let's be honest. Rodgers needs to look at himself and do it. But if he's not going to, LaFleur's job is to manage Aaron Rodgers and keep Rodgers, not in check, because I don't want to sound like he needs to be babysitted, but keep him in a rhythm to keep the offense flowing. And sometimes I think you need to do that by making it so that he doesn't have the ability to try to sorry, we had a little technical difficulty. I don't know, it just said the network dropped you, Dave, so
That's weird. I was sitting here full internet, no problem. Yeah, Skype just closed.
Yeah, it just closed.
Skype just closed on me. I was like, huh?
But anyway, I was trying to keep rambling on, and
So we're still on. We didn't lose air.
No, we didn't lose air. It was just my Skype. It was just Skype. I was trying to keep going, but I get flustered because I'm trying to talk and figure out this stuff all at once, and I don't want to take a commercial break. But so I was trying to continue on my thoughts about saying that LaFleur, it's not that he needs to control him or babysit him, but his job right now is to, I think, kind of regulate and because Rodgers won't choose to keep the offense in a rhythm, he needs to start calling plays that don't give him a choice. And then and don't do it so much where he starts to get frustrated, because then he'll go rogue on you too. Like he does have that in him. All right, he'll get a little frustrated with things and start purposely audibling on stuff. And I know that sounds all like negative stuff, but I tend not to be pissy about that too much, because we're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and I think they're all arrogant and get frustrated when they don't feel like they're getting. So you keep him regulated, and you just know, like, okay, he's been doing his job. All right, we've gotten 2 first downs. You know what? On this first down play, we're going to give Rodgers a bone. We're going to do something and give him, a couple of vertical routes or some hitch and goes here and see if he can hit him. Because I'm going to tell you this. He usually will go like 4 out of 5 when you do it that way. Whereas right now, he's like 3 for 20 on these things. Like, it's just, like between drops, miscues, sacks, like if you count the sacks in there of him holding the ball as like just an incomplete pass, that would count against the deep shot, big play attempts, he goes like 3 for 20 every game when they don't regulate him. And when he's regulated and the offense is called and kept in a rhythm and the run game is involved, and then they just, you don't know whether on 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 4 or less, whether they're going to run or throw the ball, and then all of a sudden, then Rodgers is really efficient with those big play shots. He tends to hit almost 95% of them. His ratio now is 15, 20%.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because that's the thing. If you go look at the Dallas game, perfect example. When you had routes there, you had Jones off in the flat already, and then you had a tight end coming in about 3-5 yards, and then you had a route 10 yards. That's it. You had 3 different level of routes. That's it. And it worked. It didn't need to be
once the
bomb
defense
plays
sucks
over
up,
and over again.
Once the defense sucks up into that, well, then that's the perfect time for Rodgers to call a little, do one of his little hand signals and see, well, they're creeping up. Okay, we're going to run a hitch and go or a slant and go right here. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
There needs to that's right now is